This video is sponsored by Elgato Gaming. If you guys want to see how we record our gameplay and all the other equipment that we use, then you can click the link in the description box down below to check out more. Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here, and today I want to talk about Daredevil, more specifically a rumor surrounding a new Daredevil game. I would say like the next Daredevil game, but let's be honest, there haven't really been that many to really say the next, so let's just call it a new Daredevil game. Now this rumor of course did the rounds a little while ago, but I want to talk about it because of course we have the Game Awards dropping later on today, and Jeff Keighley of course has been going around saying that he has got many exciting trailers. In fact, he's gone basically to say there are 4 to 5 trailers that are on the caliber of the Elden Ring gameplay reveal, which was pretty insane, to be honest. So quite whether that includes Daredevil or other games, I'm pretty sure one of them is at least going to be Breath of the Wild 2. But that aside, the point is, with Game Awards around the corner, I think it's worth talking about this because it's definitely really interesting, and of course, given some recent developments in the MCU and an announcement from Skydance, then it does seem much more plausible. Again, as is always the case, whenever it's a rumor style video, do take this with a massive pinch of salt, but I do still want to discuss it. So if you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. If you guys like Daredevil, let me know in the comments down below. I still want a new series, they need to hurry up and bring this back, but that aside, let me know if you guys are Daredevil fans, and of course don't forget to subscribe, we'll have plenty of Game Awards coverage, so you definitely don't want to miss it. But first things first, let's go way back. Because originally, when this was first mentioned, this was of course a 4chan post, so already, take it with a massive pinch of salt. But this same post was of course the same person that kind of mentioned the Wolverine game, which of course did come to pass. That doesn't necessarily mean this is credible, but there is of course, it's worth at least discussing the idea. And they spoke about this new next generation Daredevil game in development. Supposedly, the leak said that Marvel is currently working on a Daredevil single player narrative focused game set to release on the next gen consoles, late 2021, 2022. Obviously 2021 is not going to happen, so potentially next year. Supposedly target platforms were PC, Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. The game is said to feature an open world modern day Chicago. Now this was of course initially when it was first mentioned the first point where everyone was like, hold on a minute, this doesn't sound right, because of course Daredevil typically does his work in Hell's Kitchen, so it does beg the question, why would he go to Chicago? Not to say he can't travel, but if it's a brand new game, centered around Daredevil, and we haven't had a game like this for a very long time, it would be kind of strange for it just not to be in Hell's Kitchen. But again, that is, that's just something to think about. Anyway, the leak then goes on to say that it will be a very dark, noir-style detective game, all focused on melee combat, again apparently similar to Arkham and Mad Max, but with some extra sort of cooldown-based abilities that are customizable through a skill tree. They said there'll also be an echolocation type game mode to activate similar sort of Batman Arkham-style detective modes that you can use again to, find things out during gameplay, slow motion, all that stuff like that. The rumor itself didn't have many story details, but they did say that the villain is apparently an older, yet new to the game, maybe Bullseye. Meanwhile, Daredevil will of course have been at this for quite some time, so it won't really be an origin story. They said the map size was compared roughly to the size of a sort of 65 miles squared, and taking full advantage of the SSD, the next gen hardware, to handle load times and all that stuff like that. And again, it was also suggested it'll have some elements of free roam. Most missions will supposedly take place at nighttime, fewer in the day, and again, similar to sort of Spider-Man. So, this was of course the original rumor. And again, there's plenty of stuff here you can dissect. It's very easy to say, hey, my uncle works with Marvel, and let's just draw comparisons to Arkham City and Spider-Man because they're popular games, and then just cobble together some kind of rumor, because honestly, everyone wants a Daredevil game, so it's easy to believe. That aside, this rumor did of course also mention that there was a Wolverine game in development, and that has since been announced. But the reason I want to talk about this now, because this was of course an old rumor, is because Skydance New Media have announced they're working with Marvel Games on a new title. This upcoming game is said to be headed by former Uncharted director and writer Amy Hennig, who joined Skydance's new video game division in 2019 after leaving Naughty Dog, and of course a brief stint at EA. And recently, Skydance of course announced its new partnership with Marvel Games, leading of course many of us to start speculating on which iconic Marvel hero is of course to be getting the AAA gaming treatment. And of course, the most popular guest so far has been Daredevil, with of course rumours around a game starring Matt Murdock on all of his Daredevil escapades. Outside of that, the only stuff we really got from Skydance in terms of sort of potential direction is that it is going to put a strong emphasis on developing the narrative. Again, of course, having Amy Hennig behind it is going to be very sort of story driven, as opposed to maybe sort of your conventional action open world experience. So again, that is an interesting thing, but you can't really just say, hey, they're saying story, therefore it has to be Daredevil, because of course anything in the MCU has great story. So it could quite literally be anything. However, it is worth noting part of the other reason people are speculating this is because also, just in MCU in general, not talking about games, just talking about the, the universe, films, TV, stuff like that, it has been confirmed that Charlie Cox will, or at least should, be coming back. In an interview, it was said that should Matt Murdock ever appear in the MCU again, he will definitely be played by Charlie Cox. They didn't go as far as to confirm when that'll be happening or for what project, but the fact that it has been expressly called out, because of course Charlie Cox was a fantastic Matt Murdock. I mean, the TV series for Daredevil, the fact that we haven't got a new season, I'm still upset. But the kind of two things together, sort of coinciding, does definitely make sense. Of course, if Marvel are sort of ramping up, trying to like bring Daredevil back into the light, and then of course we have the game universe as well, it could definitely be possible. But that's kind of all we have so far. So again, a bunch of rumors, things that we don't necessarily know to be certain, but the things you can take away from it, of course, are that Skydance are working on a new title with Marvel, of course, story-driven, Amy Hennig working on that title, and of course, if the rumor has at least anything remotely believable in it, then it could well be Daredevil could be the next target we are looking at. But anyway, that's it. Of course, do keep it locked, because if we do find out more information in the Game Awards, I will be sure to do a follow-up video, but for the time being, that's the rumor. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to catch more from us, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our latest uploads. And if you want somewhere to hang out, play games, or chat all things from games to anime, food to fitness, consider joining the HyperX Gaming Discord.